Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome back to Real Bucks Talk. Hope everyone is having a great 4th of July. So happy Independence Day. And today's video, we're going to start a series off. I think we've done this before in the past, but just going to go over every position for the Buccaneers heading into the 2024 season and give you a preview or our thoughts of what their outlook is going to look like this season. So we're going to start that off with the quarterback position, obviously the most important position in the game of football, and that is at quarterback. And the Buccaneers had a pretty solid starter last year, and Baker Mayfield, who ended up putting up a really good season, put up good numbers, and just seemed like a really good fit for the team. Came in, fit in very nicely, became a leader quickly, and became one of the guys, and has been everything the Buccaneers were looking for, especially after the departure of Tom Brady. So the Buccaneers signed him last offseason to a 1 year, $4 million deal. He goes in, plays well, leads the team to the second round of the playoffs, just comes up a little bit short. So they lose against the Detroit Lions. But when you look at Baker Mayfield, and now he gets in the offseason, the Buccaneers signed him to a pretty solid contract at 3 years for 100 million. And you look at the breakdown of the contract. So his cap hit this season 6.9. He got a big signing bonus. So a big part of that, and there you see it. So $100 million contract, almost $30 million in signing bonus, 50 million guaranteed, annual average salary of 33.3 million. So he's got a base salary of 1.125 and a signing bonus while carrying a cap hit of 6.9. The Buccaneers do have a potential out after this season if they decide they want to make a change or go in a different direction. So I think from that standpoint, it's a really solid contract, and you got to be happy with the production that he put up last year. And now heading into his second year with the team, he's got a new offensive coordinator and Liam Cohen, who I think is going to play more to his strengths and tailor the play calls a little bit better than Dave Canales did on a consistent basis. And over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So you like, the touchdown to interception ratio. He had some really good games. In the playoffs against the Eagles, he was pretty solid. 3 touchdowns. 119 rating, so that's pretty good. Against Detroit, still had a pretty solid game. There was a couple of times here or there, and this is probably the thing where he's got to get better. And I think he spoke about this in the offseason. That is his footwork inside the pocket, being a better understanding of not taking sacks and trying to get the ball out faster to your underneath options. And I think that is something with this new offense that's going to be incorporated. There's going to be a lot more opportunities for quicker decisions, opportunities to really understand pre snap what the coverage is with the inclusion of motion and shifts to really get an identifier to help out Baker Mayfield. I think him as a quarterback, he's a very solid starter. I think he can be the upside is still there to improve and to be a potentially a great quarterback. I think he does have that potential. But as his floor, I think the floor is pretty high as well. So I think he's what we saw last season, even if he matched that, which I think he's very capable of doing. I think that is probably what the floor is looking at. And you're just hoping the parts around Baker Mayfield continue to get better and improve because at times last year, the pieces around him weren't the best, especially up front. The offensive line needs to be more consistent, getting a ground game in there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Baker's level of play improves with this new offense coming in, more of a Rams kind of style of offense, that Sean McVay West Coast type with just different levels, different variations of the passing concepts, and then marrying that run game to it to give you a more balanced look, more play action, involved as well. So yeah, I think here at Real Buck Stock, I can speak for Mark as well. Very excited for Baker Mayfield and this opportunity that he has. Um, Finally get some stability here at the quarterback position, and I think he can be a guy that can help this team win. We'll just have to see how far can he take that. Can he take us to a Super Bowl? I don't think that's really his responsibility. I think it's more so the team playing as one, and obviously Baker can be a part of that. Obviously a large part playing quarterback, but I'm just excited to see what this season brings for him. And when you look at the depth chart behind him, we continue with Kyle Trask. You have John Wolford as well coming back. So those are probably your three quarterbacks. Kyle probably going to be the backup moving forward. We'll see how he progresses and improves, especially in his last year of his 4 year contract. Um, but he made big strides last offseason. I thought he played pretty well in the preseason. Now it's just, can he continue to take those steps? And we'll see what happens there. And then you have Wolford, who was, I think, consistent, especially in training camp and preseason. So he just gives you a good soundboard for both Baker and Kyle to learn from. And he has experience in this offense as well. So does Baker, but John was with the Rams for a little bit. So he's got a little bit more knowledge of the system. So I think that's good. And Wolford will probably be that practice squad quarterback once again, most likely if they decide to cut him and, keep him on the practice squad. But yeah, overall, I think the room as a whole is in a good spot, especially with Baker leading the way. And, I think he's just a guy that can make the plays that are there, and we'll see if he can be a little bit more consistent with his accuracy, especially downfield. That was probably the biggest weakness from last season, just hitting those downfield shots more consistently. And then also just his decision making within the pocket, not taking sacks that are, you don't really have to take, understanding, the pre snap looks and stuff like that. So I feel like there's still a lot of upside with Baker Mayfield. And I think this is just the beginning for him. And I'm really excited that he's got this contract. He's got the comfortability now. He's found a home here in Tampa, and now it's up to him and also the people around him, the players, the coaches, to really put a consistent effort through. And I'm excited to see what that looks like with Baker Mayfield as your Buccaneers starting quarterback moving forward. And just watching these plays here, you see the upside where again, these are all in rhythm plays. Timing is on. Like, these are all good plays where he understands where to go with the football. So just really emphasizing seeing more of this, and you even see the creativity, the playmaking skills that he shows. Getting first downs off of runs and doing stuff like that. Here's one of his big runs in the playoffs against the Eagles, and then he does a little celebration at the end. So yeah, I mean, you have to love it. And again, this is going to be interesting to see if his play improves, especially with the offensive line being upgraded, especially in the middle with hopefully the left guard improves. We talked about that. And then also center with Graham Barton, giving him more depth in the pocket to make, quicker and decisive reads, and just being overall more consistent as an offense. And really, that was the problem last year with the Buccaneers team, just inconsistency from this unit, whether that would be the play caller or offensive line or even Baker at times. So, and also the skill playmakers. You had drops in between there, so a lot of things to look forward to. But I think Baker being the quarterback yet again for the 2024 season has the Buccaneers in a very good spot, and we'll see how it plays out this season. But really excited, and yeah, really excited about this quarterback room because there's potential with Kyle Trask still. See what happens there if the Bucs decide to bring him back after this season. That will be an intriguing storyline. But either way, The Buccaneers are rolling yet again with Baker Mayfield as their quarterback, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how these improvements come about, or do we see regression, to the mean? Do we see Baker take a step forward, or do we see him take two steps back? Hit that like button. Comment down below your thoughts of the Buccaneers quarterback position. Are you confident that Baker can be that guy and be the guy for the next several years as he signed a 3-year contract? And can he be, better than he was last season, or do you expect kind of a regression back and kind of taking a decline, or what do you expect? See more of the same, or do you think he can improve his play? But let us know. Appreciate all the support. And with that said, until the next one.